Hello and welcome to the first YouTube live stream of the Investing Mentorship. I'll explain why we're coming over to YouTube in a moment. If you can just let me know that you can hear and see the screen, please. Hopefully we've got someone in here to let me know, and then we'll get started. I'm just going to check to see if it looks like it's working. Okay, I believe it is, so gonna start up then. So gonna go over to the questions that we had on the Discord server. I asked what you wanted to be covered for today, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about how the markets have gone for the past week and what I've done personally as well. So the first question we had was, alright, so thanks. Your predictions in when the tech shares will start uptrending and when you think the actual dip will be. I'm thinking about getting into Neo and Palantir. I'm holding off at the moment. Okay, so we looked at S&P last time around. So for tech stocks, that is Nasdaq. And I did actually say that I had a sell position in Nasdaq in the last few days. So I'll go into that trade in a moment as well. I'm just hoping that this is actually working for anyone that might be trying to watch right now. I'm gonna check out my phone as well. I'm not sure if it is. I'll just continue for now and hopefully someone will let me know if it is working or not. Okay, so with Nasdaq, this is the tech stocks. I've actually just quickly drawn out some key lows. I have mentioned in the past that I'm looking for the indices or like the stock market to actually move sideways to downwards for the time being. So for S&P, this is where we traded last week. So I was saying I was looking for a sideways movement or downwards movement. So I had a rectangle here just to like illustrate potential consolidation or a potential move down with this line here. So let me just clean this up a little bit. So I did say that I'm looking for this low first, and if we do continue to like go down, then I'll be looking for further lows as well. So just be drawing out like lows here. So this is the S&P first. This is a better gauge of like the market as a whole, as it's the top 500 companies in the US. So with that being said, I'm going to go over to the tech stocks now. So going to be looking for the same sort of thing. So I'm going to be looking for consolidation to a move downwards for Nasdaq. So I did also say within the Discord server that I sold Nasdaq, and I'm actually looking more towards the latter. So I was saying sideways to downwards movement, and I moved to thinking that it's going to be actually downwards. So I ended up selling a little bit, and I'll show you that in a moment. So when you start looking for sells, you're going to be looking for the lows then. So you're going to look for a potential fake out. And this was the low that I targeted, and hopefully you can just about see that it came and retested that low here, and it did actually trade through slightly. I'm going to go to a lower time frame to quickly show that, to illustrate that. So hopefully you can just about see that that did actually trade through that low, and it hasn't since moved up on Friday. So I got some position out there and it's traded back up now. If anyone's in the stream, please let me know that you can hear and see the screen, or just let me know in the Discord if it's fine. You should be able to type in the YouTube chat just to let me know, because obviously it's the first time doing this and I just want to make sure that this is like working well. I have to do it slightly different to how we've done it on Zoom in the past. And yeah, okay, so we'll continue. So I'm still staying on the with the idea that I'm thinking it's going to be sideways to downwards movement, but it's actually shown that we did actually have, so this is for tech stocks here, this is the Nasdaq. We did have this consolidation, and we've since actually moved out of there, okay? So now, I'm actually looking for the break and retest of that low, okay? I know we've been looking for break and retests of highs, but I'm going to be looking for break and retest of this low now. So we had this consolidation here, as you can see. We've actually since moved down, and looking for the break and retest of this potential low. All good, thank you for letting me know, Zaid. I was just a little bit worried and I'm a little bit flustered at the moment, just to make sure everything was okay, because hopefully I don't have to do this again then. Let me just quickly go over this and I'll explain why I'm on YouTube now then as well. So looking for the break and retest, so it works for both the buy and the sell side, okay? So hopefully it's been clear, the break and retest, hopefully that's clear enough now. And let's just draw on. So we saw this move down here, it moved through, and we've had like an instant trade back to this level, okay? So I'm actually going to be looking for this to provide resistance now. That is going to start moving downwards from here. But I actually have contrasting views now because of Friday's trading, okay? I am still siding with saying that I think it's going to go down, but I just want to quickly mention this now. There is potential for this to actually be the low in the market, although I do believe that this is not the low of the market. There is potential for that to be the case, okay? So I have contrasting views at the moment. So the reason I have contrasting views is we've talked about the fake outs, okay? So you're looking for it to fake out below this low, which it has done. It's actually gone slightly below the low and come up now. So I'm kind of in limbo with what I think, although I am more tempted to say that I think it's going to go to the downside. I'm just waiting for more information now. So I'm currently flat on all positions. I don't have any buys, I don't have any sells in the market at the moment, and I'll show you that shortly. So I'm just kind of waiting at the moment. I'm going to see if this provides resistance to continue going down and actually start basically blowing out these lows. And often with the stock market, when you see crashes, they're actually very quick. So we'll go back to COVID. As you can see, it moves like in large. So if you see, this took about 2.5 to, that's actually 3 months of trading actually. That's 3 months of trading for it to move all the way up here, okay? So it's moved up there. So once it made that high, it actually moved very quickly to the downside. And for it to actually take out this low, it was here. So from this high down to this low, it was actually 7 trading days. Or 6 trading days, or 6, 7 trades. So like a week and a half within the market of like Monday to Friday trading, okay? So 3 months of trading upwards has been wiped out very quickly, okay? So that's something to be aware of when you're looking for like the move down now. So this could very quickly move to the downside. So when you're working within probabilities as well, if there's just say you were 50-50 right now, and there's actually like indications to show that this is actually going to move to the downside, and that's why I've already sold all of my stocks last week or the week before, I can't remember exactly, and because this can move very quickly to the downside, okay? You can get in at a later time if you think it's going to go up, and that's fine. Something I've learned in my years of trading now is preservation of your money is probably a lot more important than actually making some money in the stock market. When the things are looking like good in the stock market, it's very easy to make money and you can do quite well. But when it's looking a bit like it might go down or sort of sideways for the time being, that's kind of when you want to be like very wary, because it can go down very, very quickly. So I've already mentioned to you guys that I am actually looking for the moves down now. So this is what I'm expecting. It's going to start potentially breaking these like lows now. It's already contested this low. It has made a double bottom, which can be seen as a form of support now for price, which is why I'm saying that there is potential for this to be the low, although in my experience and my thoughts right now, I don't think it is. But this would, if it was a bullish market right now, this would be a potential buying opportunity. But I've made it very clear that I'm not looking for buys right now, okay? So I wouldn't be buying personally. So I'm going to be looking for further moves down. So this is in tech stocks, and I'm just going to continue with the questions because I think this ties in with another question. So I'm just going to read it out as well, so it's easy to come back to and refer to in the future if you watch these videos again. So I'd like to know about potential biopharmaceutical stocks. I've been looking into them recently and quite like them. Oh, sorry, I've actually missed one. So let me go into this first. So we were talking about the tech stocks, so you're looking at Neo and Palantir, but holding off at the moment, and that's good to hold off at the moment. So I've actually just quickly drawn out Neo and Palantir as well. So when you're looking at the individual stocks, so they will fall within that sort of sector or that kind of like trading. So for the Nasdaq, that's the tech stocks, the top 100 tech stocks, if I'm not mistaken. So Neo and Palantir are also tech stocks then, and you're going to be looking for similar sort of trading then. So I'm going to go to the the Nasdaq index and kind of compare it to Neo. It sort of looks the same, right? I know obviously it doesn't look exactly the same, but you can kind of see it follows the same sort of trend. And now we're in sort of a downtrend now, okay? And the same with Palantir also. So comparing Nasdaq to Palantir, it kind of follows the same trend, okay? So when you're looking at the indices, the Nasdaq index in this particular example, you're going to be looking for it to kind of follow what you think the index is going to do, okay? So that's why I've drawn out these lows in Neo. We'll just stick with one now. Neo, we're going to be looking for lows now. So we've already contested this low. We've already blown through, okay? So this is actually a potential break. Oops, just take that off there. Potential break. So we've already come through here and retest of that low now, okay? So similar to the index as well. So this would be a potential selling opportunity now to start looking for these lows. And this can actually end up happening very quickly. But although this is kind of showing signs of a fake out also, so that's why I'm sort of on the fence at the moment. I'm not in anything right now, and I'm just sitting on my hands basically. I'm just waiting for the market to kind of give me a further indication of what it wants to do in the near future. So yeah, I'm personally looking for like the break and retest, but there is indication that there could potentially be a fake out here now, and it can start going up. If it was a bullish environment, this would certainly be a buying opportunity, but right now I'm thinking it's a bearish market, okay? Palantir would be the same thing then. So I'm also going to be looking for this to continue moving to the downside, although this one's showing very big indications of a fake out. So Palantir, when this does end up becoming a bullish environment, I think Palantir right now is looking like as a better buy, just as things stand. Obviously that can change, and these aren't buying opportunities right now. But Palantir, the way it's trading, because it's rejected these two lows here. So if you look in the past, it's actually made a double bottom with these two lows now. So it retested that price, came up, so it made a double bottom, if that makes sense. So a double bottom is where prices come to that same level twice. So we had this low here, it's come back down to it and sort of shown some sort of support there, okay? So it's made the double bottom, but it's actually come through now, and it actually took out this low, and there's a potential fake out on both of those lows, okay? But once again, I am actually bearish, so I will be looking for this to continue moving to the downside, but I'm going to wait for further information. So that would be a 40% drop, which is like, it's massive. But as I showed you in the index as well, the moves down often are a lot quicker than the moves up, okay? So we saw this move up over a 53, so 3 to 4 months trading, but as you can see, it's wiping it out very quickly, okay? And that's only been like half the time, and it's already basically eaten up all of those gains, okay? And even for the year, we're going to speak about how it's traded for the year as well. So I'll talk about that when I go into my own trading, actually. So we'll just continue with the questions, and I'll go into that after. So we've done that. Let me just mark that. Okay. I'd like to know about potential biopharmaceutical stocks. I've been looking into them recently and quite like them. Also, just maybe a few more analysis on stocks and run through on break and retest, the flag and the EMA on one stock if that's possible. Okay, so we'll go to the biopharmaceutical. So I just did a quick Google of biopharmaceutical stocks, and I'll come out. So biopharmaceutical stocks, and I just went to the first one. The Motley Fool is a place you can just like find stocks basically, and these are ones that are on their radar. So I just went to the first one, and I've just brought up the chart for this this particular stock. So Axum Therapeutics, and it's within neuroscience. and it's also on the Nasdaq. So this is within the tech stocks that we've been talking about already. So I've just quickly looked over the questions and just drawn up the charts, as you can see here. So with Axum Therapeutics, we can see that this was in a very clear trading range, okay? And I'm going to quickly mention something that I spoke about on HTMC as well. So we have this high and we have this low, and it's sort of traded within this range, okay? Hopefully that's quite clear enough to see. So something I just mentioned as well, so we had the double top, okay? So that in a bearish setting, that would be a sell opportunity, okay? And as you saw, it actually came back down and it tested the low of the range. I've got two lines there. Let me just take one of those off. There we go. Just to clean it up a little bit. So we tested this high and we came back down to test the low of the range. And once we did that, we actually came back up. And although we've missed it slightly, it's basically touched the high of the trend again. And now we've come back down to the low of the consolidation, okay? And we've had this potential fake out, although I don't think it's a fake out, but if it was a bullish environment, that would be a potential fake out, and then you could see it go to the top of the range again, okay? Sorry, I was just coughing and muted my mic and took a sip of water. Alright, so I just want to talk about something I spoke about in HTMC as well. So something within stocks or in like trading is you'll find psychological levels, okay? So you'll see that stocks tend to trade around like the zeros and the fives. So hopefully you remember me talking about that in HTMC. So this one's actually like testing highs of $90 basically, okay? Although it's like 89, it's around that sort of figure, okay? And that's when you're seeing like big moves down then from there. And this is at $65 to the downside. So on the downside, it's staying around that 65 level and 90 level. So when you're seeing it around those sorts of levels, you can see it like show a quick move away from that level. So it's kind of an indication that there are like large sellers that are coming into the market around 90, and that's why it moves downwards, okay? And once again, or like buyers at 65, and that's why it moves upwards. Sellers at 90 moves downwards. Buyers at 65 moves upwards. Although it went to slightly below, obviously you need to remember that things aren't always like black and white within trading or investing. That's why it doesn't always have to go to that exact level, and that's why it doesn't always stay directly above that level. Like it comes down here. So hopefully that kind of like makes sense there. Hopefully that covers that. I'm particularly with the biopharmaceutical. It's going to fall within the Nasdaq as well. So my bias is that I'm looking for this to be once again the break, retest of that, and then to fall down here to go down and contest the previous lows, and then potentially even further lows, okay? And that's like, it should probably be quite a big move. So that's 23% to the downside and then 43%. So that can happen very quickly, okay? Yeah, obviously, once again, this is all just entertainment purposes. I'm just a guy. This isn't financial advice. It's up to you what you do with this information. I should probably like preface the video with that. Hopefully I'll do that in the future. So hopefully that covers the biopharmaceutical for now. I understand that obviously a lot of the time when you're getting into investing and stuff, you're looking for buying opportunities and stuff, but the thing is, hopefully what I said about preservation of money as well, that's probably the most important thing within investing. You want to protect your money basically. So in environments like this, as I've mentioned, I'm personally completely out of stocks at the moment. I don't hold any stocks right now. So yeah, do with that what you will. Let's continue. I'd like to know about the market as a whole and how many days of red we can possibly see approximately, and as well as when we can see the market going up by. Okay, so the market as a whole, the best gauge is the S&P 500, and I've kind of spoken about it already. No one knows exactly how many red days you're going to have or when it's going to start going up, but you start looking for it to like move downwards and contest lows. So when I'm going to show you what happened with COVID, okay? So this is I'm going to go like back into the past now. So this is what happened with COVID. This is where it hit, and it starts just breaking down and just breaks these lows, okay? Breaks lows, breaks these lows, and even further keeps going, keeps breaking lows until it broke that low. Okay, so here with COVID, broke those lows, just slammed through, came back, break, retest, broke those lows, break, retest. Hopefully that makes sense. Break, retest here of that low, just slams down, goes and breaks out of that low, and that led to the fake out, okay? So you don't really know for sure, but when you start seeing like large moves to the upside again, that's when you can be that's when you're looking on the radar for like buying opportunities again. But until then, you shouldn't really be looking for it. Although this could obviously like just carry on going up. That's just my take on the market at the moment. I personally think it's gonna start going down. Although I don't know if it's gonna like break as many lows as COVID did right now, but I do think it's potentially got legs to go like even further lower. So hopefully that makes sense. If I knew how many red days there would be, hopefully this doesn't. I'm not being patronizing or anything, but no one knows how many days of red you can see and when the market is going to go up by. If I knew exactly when, then I'd be a trillionaire, basically. I'd have infinite money. No one knows exactly when it's going to happen, but I look to the market to show me indications of when it's going to. And right now, I don't see it as a buying opportunity. Until then, I'm going to be looking for the market to go downwards or sideways. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, once again, with the questions as well, it just seems that I know that you guys don't have the understanding to sell right now, sell the market, and I probably would suggest you don't do that for the time being, particularly as I think a lot of you are relatively new to investing. I personally did it because it's obviously what I do for a living, and I guess I have a deeper understanding of the markets and understanding my risk and stuff. But when you do sell the market, your risk is actually like infinite if you haven't positioned yourself well and use the right sort of leverage and stuff, because a stock can go up to infinite dollars, okay? So if you're selling the stock, or you're the other side of the stock, basically, you're not buying it, if that makes sense. Hopefully short selling and selling a stock makes sense to people, but you're basically betting that the stock's going to go down, and if it goes down you make money, and if it goes up you lose money. So if it goes up like to $1,000, like you just keep losing and losing and losing. But when you buy a stock, your risk is it's finite. If the stock goes to zero, whatever you've put into that stock is how much you can lose. When you're short selling, you can lose infinite money. So that's why it's probably best that like people that are new to the market don't short sell, basically. I will go back into the eToro account and show you that as well. So I'll actually just speak about my my Nasdaq trades. So I'll just talk about the performance anyway. So January was basically 150, February was 8% loss, and March is currently at 13%. So it's basically like eating up the February loss. And obviously if you were buying stocks, which I was, clearly you would have lost some money, so that's fine. But as a whole, I'm up 157% for the year, and I'm going to speak about other assets that you could have bought for the year and compare that. So something that would be considered safe is the S&P, and we're going to look at what the return would be if you were to have bought the first trading day of January. So this started trading at this price. So basically when you're investing in the market, you want to be outperforming the market. So if you bought the S&P right now, if you bought the S&P on the first trading day of January, you would be up right now 2.4% on your money, okay? And that's actually like not too bad. but I want to outperform the market, so I want to be trading and making a return higher than 2.4%, which is quite clear. It's at 157% year to date. So something else would be the Nasdaq. So this is another index, sorry, and this would be considered a safe investment. And this is currently at a 1.5% loss. Okay, if you were to trade the Nasdaq, if you bought that on the first trading day of the year, and you would have held it to today, you'd be down 1.5%. So obviously, once again, massively outperformed the market. Or something like Tesla. Tesla's obviously had a lot of hype around it, or even something like Bitcoin. I'll talk about those two, and then I'll just stop there on that. I just need to bring it up on my other monitor and bring it here. So Tesla. Oh, these are the markings from when we spoke about it in the past. Let me just move those then. Actually, no, I'll talk about that because there was a question to talk about doing everything that we've outlined in the past as a whole. So this has actually gone down, and if you were to buy Tesla on the first trading day and have held it to today, you would be down 16%. So Tesla was actually considered, I guess, a very good investment. So that would be minus 16% on the year. And I'm just going to bring up Bitcoin as the final one then. Bitcoin is actually up quite well. There's been a large move in Bitcoin. I'll just bring it over here. So that's the first trading day. This is obviously very volatile and quite a risky thing to be in, and that's 75%. So I've doubled the returns of Bitcoin within the year, 75% to 150%, and Bitcoin's considered very volatile. Although I've already mentioned with this particular trading, I'm being very aggressive with this, but I'm playing the downside as well. So I'll quickly show the Nasdaq trade. So with the Nasdaq, I made a 32% gain, and then also another position was just 1.5% gain. But I want to speak about the loss. So Virgin Galactic was the biggest indication of when I was thinking I need to switch my bias on the markets. So Virgin Galactic I even outlined as the buying opportunity. I'll just bring that up as well quickly. Oh, there's loads of lines here. But yeah, we were looking for the break and retest of. I'm just clearing it out. Of that particular high back there, okay? So we'd already traded through, and I was buying it around this sort of area, okay? And then if that's failing and it's going through here, you shouldn't be holding that position anymore because the idea is wrong, right? And that's why I sold. I got out of the position for a loss. So I took a position in that, and I took a loss of 13%. Hopefully you've heard of letting your winners run and cutting your losses quickly. So cut the loss at 13%, and obviously my gains often are quite a lot bigger. So 76% gain, 32% gain. Obviously there's some smaller ones because I do smaller positions as well. 18% gain, 37% gain, 68% gain. As you can see, letting the winners run, but cutting the losses as quick as possible. Really, when you're seeing it's not showing what you expected. So that was the setup. It didn't continue moving up. So the setup was wrong. You need to get yourself out of the market. Basically, you need to cut your losses and move on to the next opportunity. So now with Virgin Galactic, as I mentioned, I think I've mentioned it in the past anyway, I'll be looking for it to trade down now. So stop breaking these lows. Breaking lows is what I'm looking for at the moment, for the time being. And then in the future, that's something that I would end up buying when I consider it to be a buying opportunity. But until then, this is what I'm looking for, it to continue going down and breaking lows, okay? Yeah, hopefully that makes sense with year to date on my own investing. I know I've already said that it's an aggressive account, but compared to other assets, if you're trading, you want to be outperforming the markets basically, and otherwise you should just put your money into an index fund and just allow it to do its thing. So you want to be outperforming those by a long way, hopefully. in the future you'll be able to do that. Once again, obviously you can just allow me to trade for you. I've mentioned that in the past, so if you use the link that I think I've provided in the description, sign up to eToro and you can allow me to trade for you. Once again, it's very, very risky the way I'm doing it. This is not how I actually trade my own larger funds. I've only put in a small amount. I put in the $200 and it's up to 150% at the moment. So yeah, the money in, as you can see, it was £150, which was the equivalent of $204. So that was what was put in, and profit of 320, which obviously leads to the account value of 525. So also you can see that total allocated is 0. My portfolio is empty. I've currently got no positions right now. I'm just allowing the market to tell me what to do. And in my trading 212, I sold those positions a week or two ago now. So yep, I think that covers all of the questions. I'm going to quickly go over just maybe a few more analysis on stocks and run through the break and retest and flag and EMA all on one stock if that's possible. I think I've already done it in the past for Tesla, but I'll quickly do it again then. I'll just move that out of the way. If there are any other questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll get to those. I'll just quickly go over this now. So right now, really, you don't want to be buying. So anything that's happening here, you don't want to be buying. But in the past, when it is a bullish environment, you're going to be looking for the break and retests. So it broke out, it retested that high. Obviously, it's not pinpoint, but you see a massive move up after that. And that led to a 30% increase. So that's a very good trade just there. Very simple to like outline. Once again, break and retest here as well. There's so many opportunities to get in. Once you know that you're in a bullish environment, in a good sector, a good stock, we've already outlined this flag pattern. So in the final third, you're going to be looking for it to break out. As you saw, break, retest of the triangle or the flag. And that led to a massive run up as well. And that's 94%. It's very easy to, this is what you guys need to do as well. You need to just look at past stocks and just outline. So here we have the high, break, retest, led to another massive run up as well. So from here, you would have bought it there, 146%, okay? So those are the, hopefully that just makes sense. We'll do the quick EMA then. I don't really want to be talking about buying opportunities right now because hopefully you're not looking for buying opportunities. Unless you obviously think the stocks are bullish right now, then that's something you can look for. So with the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA, you wait for it to, obviously this was showing like massive bullishness. You allow the 10, so the 10 is the blue one, and the 20 is the white one. So the blue one's going to be a little bit faster. It's only tracking 10 of the candles, and the white is tracking 20. So you allow the 10 to come through the white one, and then wait for it to get back up above, and that could have been the buying opportunity there. So allowed for it to go up there. There haven't been any more because Tesla's been like a really massive run up. Actually, although it did do it here as well in the flag, so that's a confluence of two different strategies. But if you did buy back here, that's a huge trade. You can't even really like see, but it's from there to here on Tesla, and that was a 700% increase. So those sort of opportunities are there. Those are things that I've outlined and showed you guys in the past. When you're in a bullish environment, in a good sector, in a good stock, you can look for those sorts of things, okay? As I mentioned, personally, I'm just looking for the downside right now, so hopefully that makes sense. I guess there's no more questions then. If there is anything, it's the last chance to drop any questions. I will, because we're in Zoom, we've been doing like the little chats as well afterwards. What I'm going to do though, if you're in here right now, I'm going to jump into the Discord. Oops. Into the Discord. So there's a voice channel in here, okay? So shortly after the stream, I'm going to jump into there. You just click on there and you should be able to speak through there, and you can hear me through that. In the general, under the voice channels, okay? It probably looks a little bit different if you're on a phone, but if you're on the PC, this is what it would look like. You'll click on general. I'll just click on it to show, and that puts me into this voice call, and then we can have a quick chat there if anyone wants to have a quick one. I need to be really quick though with it if we do end up doing that. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention why I'm coming over to YouTube then. It saves me having to record the videos that takes up space on the PC and then having to upload to YouTube as well. So it just takes out that process. And another reason is I want to actually like reach more people now. I've like seen a lot of like misinformation on the internet, and I really want to, I hope I can be like some form of like good thing to come of this, because all I'm seeing online is like 10x buys and stuff, but look, people are just sitting in like really bad drawdowns and losing a lot of money right now, and I've already like spoken about my positions and stuff before the fact, so hopefully it like shows that I guess I kind of have some form of understanding of the markets anyway, whereas a lot of these people have no idea, if I'm being perfectly honest. So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. But yeah, I'm going to close up here. Doing the YouTube live stream as well, it saves it onto YouTube, and it can be watched back in the future, sorry. Anyway, so yep. Anyways, hope you all have a fantastic weekend and a good week coming. We'll potentially do some more YouTube live streams aside from the Sundays. Just kind of depends on my work at the moment. I've been very busy with work, and I'm actually in the process of securing some further funding from my company that I'm working with for my trading. So I'm just undergoing a trial process for that. So I've been very busy with that for the time being. But yeah.